You talk about how the media doesn't really report what's going on. When I hear you talk about the election interference of 2020, Rudy, it's like I've never actually heard it before. And when you break down exactly what happened in those counties in Atlanta and Maricopa County in Arizona and Pennsylvania and Philadelphia and the details of what they did, it's the first time I've ever heard anyone credibly talk about what happened.
Well, it's frustrating.
But most people never get the information and they say, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory and this and that. But you were there at the coalface. You saw what was going on.
You know, I wrote the book about the Biden crime family for the same reason that, about 2 or 3 weeks after the election, we brought the first case in Pennsylvania. I had to take over the case the night before it was going to be argued because the lawyer, a really good lawyer who brought the case, was threatened with being fired by his law firm. He had a big family, young children. Not only did they threaten to fire him, they threatened to basically do what they did to me, disbar him. Wow. So nobody would take the case. Here we are the night before. And I had to learn the case, went in court. I had about 12 or 15 witnesses to the corruption in Pennsylvania. At that point, expected we'd develop about 50 because we were only 1 week into it. The judge wouldn't hold a hearing. Now, I can understand, I've done restraining orders, 100. Never had a judge refuse a hearing. You win, you lose, but the judge hears your witnesses. And I realized the courts didn't want to get involved. Somebody had to have told them, stay out of it. Let them resolve it. And of course, the Democrats were very, very smart to cheat only in very crooked places. So they didn't cheat in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, they cheated in some of the most corrupt cities in America, Philadelphia, Detroit, Atlanta. Every other mayor of Atlanta goes to jail. Or, I mean, they could have used my city if they wanted. My city has been cheating for 200 years on elections. It goes back to we go back to Boss Tweed 180 years ago. And we actually named a courthouse after a crooked politician. We're so crooked. And we are. To this day, if you have a Democratic administration in my city, you're paying money for everything. I mean, everybody's getting kickbacks. And the judges are appointed by the politicians, and the judges do what the politicians want. New York, Chicago, not sure about Boston. Certainly Philadelphia. Philadelphia is one of the worst. Atlanta, Georgia has become, for the last 30 years, equal to any of the eastern cities. It's been a Democratic cesspool. So when I realized the night of the election, and he was ahead in 5 states, one of them by 800,000 votes, and they stopped counting, and I started hearing the cities, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Milwaukee, Atlanta. I said, oh my God, I never thought of that. They're going to fix this case in the cities they own. Those cities might as well be part of the old Soviet Union. One party. Chicago, 60 years of one party. New York City, virtually 170 years of one party. I was only the third Republican mayor in 100 years. And I was only the third, only 2 of us stayed Republican. The other one became a Democrat. So I decided after that to switch our strategy. So they say we lost a lot of cases, almost on purpose, because we didn't put any resources in it. I said, I have to get this testimony memorialized. Have to have it I don't know if we can win, but we have to have this for historical purposes, because if we don't stop this, this will become America. Because if they get away with this, they're going to keep doing it. So I went to the legislatures that were Republican legislatures. Some of them had Democratic governors, like Pennsylvania. But at least I could get a majority of the legislature to give me a hearing. And then I could put my witnesses on the witness stand. So, for example, the best hearings we had were in Georgia. We had over 110 witnesses. We produced about 50. But the senators went out and got about 60 of their own. And there's a terrific report that was done way back then that nobody pays attention to by the presiding officer, who basically says the election was stolen and here's the proof. And he lays it right out. And he did that probably December 30th of 2020. There's a similar report in Arizona, similar report in Pennsylvania, and a similar report in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin. I don't know if there's one for Michigan as good as that, but that was the best. The others were pretty good. Best because they did a lot of their own work. The others were pretty much just using our work. But I mean, he got, like, for example, the tape of the arena with the people counting the votes 4 and 5 times. People think I produced that. That came from the arena. 5 weeks after the election, the arena comes forward, the sports arena, and says, you know, we have a security camera that works all the time. So even if they say they have no tapes, we have 12 hours of tape. And you get it, and you can see them cheating.
Has that ever been made public?
Sure, a little bit. In my hearing, Bar Association hearing, 3 hours of that tape has been deleted. And it's the 3 hours in which the alleged crimes took place. Deleted. I mean, I'm happy to show it to you. It was deleted. And the judge in my Bar Association case didn't care. Democrat, appointed by the machine. She knows what she has to do. If she ever ruled for me, she'd be finished in New York. Be finished. Anybody ruled for Trump, me, or any of our people, you are finished in New York. You'll never go anywhere. You won't be in a law firm. You never get promoted as a judge. I mean, they play for real. I mean, it's like the equivalent of killing you.
Wow. Proper New York style.
New York, yeah. New York for sure, but
everywhere.
All of these, but when I say again, they picked the cities intelligently and carefully. I'll tell you another thing that tipped me off immediately. So I get a call the day after the election from Pennsylvania, and from Pam Bondi, who was the former Attorney General of Florida. And she says, Mayor, you gotta come here. All of our inspectors are being put behind gates about 2 football fields away from where the votes are being counted. We're not being allowed to see any of the ballots. And we're going to court, but we got turned down already. But you gotta come and see this, you won't believe it. She said, I have pictures, but maybe if you come. So I didn't want to go, but I did. And I showed up. And as I'm going there, I get a call from Pittsburgh. Same thing. They put up gates, they wouldn't let anybody in. Got a call from Detroit. Put up gates, nobody allowed in. Atlanta. So you got about 6 cities where everybody put up gates and didn't allow Republicans in. And I said, what are the chances that the Democratic leader in each one of those counties woke up that morning and said, let me go buy some gates and put them up and keep out all the Republicans. This has to be organized. This has to be, they must have organized this months ago with the gates and the idea was, they want to show us any of the paper because, you know, there's a lot of talk about the machines and the machines may or may not. It's the paper that really fixed the election. And they fought like hell to make sure we would never see one single piece of paper. I've never been able to look at one single piece of paper in Georgia or in Pennsylvania. And it would seem to me, if I were the governor, who's a Republican in Georgia, and the Secretary of State, who's the one who probably doctored the tape, and I was being accused of running an unfair election, and the paper was pristine, I'd let you look at it to your heart's content.
Right.
So now it turns out, about 2 months ago, that 375,000 pieces of paper, ballots, are missing in Georgia. I wonder what ballots those were. So this is the kind of proof that exists. So when people say this is, you can't talk about it and you're being unpatriotic, it's just the opposite.
Right.
If you don't talk about it, they're going to do it again. And if you don't let them know you're onto them, they're going to do it again. And they are going to try. Hopefully not get away with it this time because a lot of it's been cut down.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true. and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.